President Rodrigo Duterte says being linked to the 6.4 billion pesos in smuggled shabu from China prompted the resignation of his eldest son, former Davao City Vice Mayor Paulo Duterte, on Christmas Day. During Senate hearings on the issue, fixer Mark Taguba claimed customs officials dropped the younger Duterte's name. The president says, quote, "I think he got fed up. They were summoned to Congress for nothing, and he considered it most unfair to him." He also says his son asked his advice on the resignation on Christmas Eve. Duterte says he told the former Davao City Vice Mayor the choice was his alone. Less than 24 hours later, the younger Duterte made the announcement during a special session of the Davao City Council. His resignation was effective on the same day, December 25. Aside from the 6.4 billion pesos worth of smuggled shabu issue, the younger Duterte cited his very public squabble with his daughter Isabel as reasons for his resignation. Labor unions slammed the Labor Department over the deaths of 37 workers in a Davao City mall fire. The Associated Labor Union's Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, a labor coalition, says the deaths in the Davao mall fire stem from a failure to enforce labor laws that promote safe workplaces. The group says the effects of the mall fire would have been minimized had DOLE strictly enforced labor laws. The group's call comes as the DOLE and the Justice Department launched their probes into the mall fire. Still on the NCCC mall blaze, President Rodrigo Duterte urges families to cremate the bodies of victims because it's the cleanest, most expedient way of doing things. Duterte, who is in Davao City for the holidays, met with the kin of victims a second time Monday night. Duterte says, quote, "I told them they're already burnt, and even if you bring the cadaver back home, you won't be able to open up the coffin for people to see the dead." The armed forces is on full alert Tuesday as the Communist Party of the Philippines celebrates its 49th founding anniversary. The military declared a suspension of military operations, or SOMO, until midnight of December 27, while the CPP declared a ceasefire until 6 p.m. Tuesday. The AFP says the CPP's anniversary celebration is usually accompanied by armed attacks against the people that reflect the CPP-NPA's true color as a criminal organization void of any ideology. Clashes between the military and the Communist New People's Army have intensified since President Rodrigo Duterte canceled the peace talks aimed at ending the armed struggle. Duterte also declared the CPP and the NBA terrorist organizations. Hong Kong police arrest the co-owner of Peya Travel, the travel agency that took payments from overseas Filipino workers but failed to confirm their flights back to the Philippines. Rhea Donna Boyce is arrested Monday for conspiracy to defraud in her Wan Chai residence. Hundreds of OFWs in Hong Kong, many of them domestic helpers, were stranded in the airport after finding out they had no seat on the flight they booked months before. The company has not explained the reason for the unconfirmed plane tickets and has failed to guarantee rebookings or refunds. On December 22, Philippine budget airline Cebu Pacific announced it would fly home the OFWs for free. The last of the stranded OFWs left for the Philippines Monday, with their flights paid for by the Philippine government. Pope Francis on Christmas calls for peace in Jerusalem and highlights the plight of children scarred by conflict. The pontiff's plea comes as fresh tensions simmered in the West Bank following United States President Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Following Trump's lead, Guatemala's President Jimmy Morales says his country would move its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Pope Francis says, quote, "We see Jesus and the children of the Middle East who continue to suffer because of growing tensions between Israelis and Palestinians." He adds, quote, "Let us pray that the will to resume dialogue may prevail between the parties and that a negotiated solution can finally be reached, one that would allow the peaceful coexistence of two states within mutually agreed and internationally recognized borders."